Nigeria is busy running for help, for food. Nigerian government begging for food from all over the world. To the extent that Nigeria had to accept food from a country that is in war. Do you imagine that Nigeria is not in war? Nigeria have a very fertile land, have a real land, yet the people cannot produce food because there is an agenda to Islamize Nigeria. Nobody can go to his or her farmland anymore. To an extent, a cajole was made of Yoruba people late last year or early this year, where they had to sign something. They signed a pact with Mieti Allah that they will no longer resist Mieti Allah from bringing their cattle and doing whatever. And that way, the Mieti Allah keep on penetrating their rural areas, into their villages, and occupying their forests, their bushes. Now, as they signed that, now Mieti Allah said they will not disturb them again. So if they don't sign that it would have been their death contract or sentence. So as they sign it, they will not disturb them again. And then Mieti Allah made the official statement that the Yoruba people can now go to their farmland. Since they have signed it, they can freely go to. So if they don't sign this thing, they cannot go to their farmland. How many of you? It's in the national news dailies, it's in newspapers, in televisions. They signed the pact. So after that, the Mieti Allah said they can now go to their. That means they are accepting boldly that the only condition that any community can go to their farmland is signing a pact with them. People are busy saying, oh, Boko Haram, ISWAP, all these ones. Mieti Allah. And the government of Nigeria made it officially known to the world that this Mieti Allah is a principal, very important stakeholders in the Nigerian state and government. The terrorist group is a principal. So why is it when somebody say, oh, why is Simon Ekpa always calling them a terrorist state and call it? What is it? Are you hearing it from Simon Ekpa first? Where sitting president said that this is what the country is. It's a terrorist state. You want to hear indict Simon Ekpa because anything that comes from a Biafran person is that one that is important. The president, a sitting president said that this is a terrorist state. That this is a terrorist country. Where Mieti Allah, a terrorist organization that have taken thousands of lives, that do take thousands of lives only within 1 year interval, and they own it up. Since the Israeli Hamas war, since the Ukraine-Russian war, how many souls have gone down? How many souls? Then, since there is no war in Nigeria, since the emergence of Mieti Allah, in a year, how many souls have gone? You find out that combination of Ukraine and the Russian war has not made up to half of the number of persons that have died in the hands of the terrorist organization in Nigeria. In 1 year. In 1 year. In 1 year. Because there is an uppermost agenda that is more important than delivering governance to the people. And one is saying, oh, why are you people going out now? Can't you resolve it? Is there any, there is no part of the world where there is no difference, where there is no misunderstanding? You know, it will take time, just a matter of time, you will settle it. You will resolve. Resolve what? What do you want to resolve? What exactly do you want to settle? The unity that has kept decimating the innocent people. Unity that has done no good other than taking lives of innocent. That is the unity you want to continue to patch and pamper. Because you have a stupid brother who calls himself one stupid name, I don't know whether a bigot you call him. Because you have a buffoon that call himself a tifnubu or whatever you call them. Why? The people that are dying doesn't concern you. Go to the northeast, to the northwest, to the north central. Go to the southeast, southwest. There is no part of the country that is not bleeding. But because, oh, your brother is a senator, your brother is House of Rep member, oh, he's the governor now. But because of that, because you have a contract, your business is flowing, you have politicians that you work with, they patronize your business, then millions of Nigerians should keep on dying. You think it will never reach you? Lovers of freedom all over the world, I greet you. All people who seek or stand for justice, fairness, and equity, I greet you. All the good people of Nigeria, all the people that have been forced together to be in the state that have refused to work, I greet you all. I am Akpan Asokwo. I present from Biafran Radical Freedom TV as a presenter. I am also Biafran rugged political analyst and social commentator. Today I have come to present an update as it is, because we are whiter than white. This is about the relations, the bilateral relations between Nigeria and India, Indian state, the state of India. There have been very wide rumors ongoing within the last few days that the bilateral relationship that has been revived between Nigerian state and India is get towards winning more friends to fight against the emergence of the defunct state of Biafra, as the Biafra Republic government in exile insists on redeclaring to revive the state of Biafra on the 2nd of December. So the rumor going on is that India has come to stand with Nigeria against the emergence of the Biafran state, re-emergence. But the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi heard about this and decided to make his stance very clear. The president says that he is going to support Nigeria with food stuff, not any other thing, like people rumored he's going to support with military equipment. So there is no such thing, or no personnel, that he is going to support Nigeria with 20-ton metrics of food stuff. And this makes one to flashback to what happened earlier this year, where a state in war offered Nigeria food stock. That is Ukraine. A state in war that Nigeria should be supplying foodstuff is supplying Nigeria foodstuff. Why? Because of the status of failed state status. Today there is erosion. There are erosion disaster, some natural disaster that happened in the northern Nigeria. So Nigeria is leveraging on that to seek for help all over. Many private, non-governmental organizations, governmental organizations have offered to help because of flood. India, with a population of approximately 1.4 trillion people, 4 billion people, is offering Nigeria food assistance. Many failures that Nigeria have recorded, the government and its agencies have continued to defend Nigerian state, hiding under population. When you try to make reference to countries like South Africa, they will tell you South Africa is very small. They use population to give excuses when it doesn't favor them. When it favors them, they use it to brag. So, why is India, that its population is more than 4 times, more than 5 times the Nigerian population? The worst of it is that Nigeria doesn't even know its population as we speak. Nigeria have continued to use guesswork since 2006. In the next 2 years, it will be 20 years. Next 2 years, Nigeria would complete 20 years without any definite census. No figure. Nigeria has worked on guesswork. As we speak, India is a third world country colonized by Britain. Nigeria is a third world country colonized by Britain. Then I wonder the shamelessness of the people who have been defending the different governments of Nigerian state. From 1960 to today, all that has worked is excuses from the government and the supporters of the government, different governments of Nigerian state. To the very shock of everyone, Peter Obi, the man that is supposed to save Nigeria, as according to people, the Messiah, like Mbaka said, that came in the person of Buhari, that the Messiah that is about to come again in the person of Peter Obi, the same excuses. People make excuses for failure. Peter Obi is today blaming the Buhari Tinubu government, now referring to other governments of Nigeria as making excuses to why they fell. Whereas till today, Peter Obi doesn't even know what is the reason, what is the way forward. How can Nigeria work? As the Nigerian, almost say, best journalist, Rufai, asked him, should you emerge as a president, are you still going to remove subsidy? Peter Obi tried to maneuver the question. Rufai said, Mr. Peter Obi, can you please answer me? Should you emerge as the president, will you still remove subsidy? Peter Obi still was dangling. And Rufai brutally came, said, Peter Obi, answer me in a definite term. Are you going to remove subsidy? Peter Obi said yes. And Rufai waved his head, because even Rufai was routing for Peter Obi. It was done on him at that moment that there is nobody that can deliver Nigeria. Delefa Rotimi was in a recent program beginning to think that at this moment he don't think there is a way out.
You only protest to somebody who has the capacity to listen to you. These ones do not have the capacity to listen or the will to change. So going to protest will not work. I used to say this repeatedly, and I stand by what I used to say. But protests come in different forms. What I am proposing, and I would like to hear what you all have to say. Let's take our time. Let's talk through this and let's debate it. I'm of the opinion that we should have a national sit at home on the 3rd of December. I was careful to run away from the 2nd. I don't want to have a situation where our IPOP brothers and myself will now be conflicted with each other. That is not to denigrate whatever anybody is doing to win their freedom.
Bilateral to me, you know, one of the brightest Nigerian man. That's when he narrates Nigerian situation, he is so passionate about it. Most of you saw that update. Bilateral to me. He said, at this moment, it's appearing there is no solution in sight. Because even the person he looked up to, he didn't mention this, doesn't have a cure. Don't have any headway. None of them. Little wonder P2B, like the other Ifulefus, appeared in Chatham House to present their manifesto, to do campaign for coming to lead people in Africa, because there is nobody with any clue. Why did the presenter Husseini Rufai, why did Rufai nod his head? Because Rufai knows the problem. Why is there subsidy in the first place? Why do you grant the subsidy in the first place? Why is the price of petroleum product very high in Nigeria? Because you're importing it. So what happens with fixing these things? P2B doesn't know that. He's quoting to them how many this one generation, how many that one power generation in this one, in this place, in that place, in Egypt, in all the places, in Morocco and all of that, without mentioning the real basic. Generating high power, generating that, this, that. What does those countries have? Nigeria have everything. But because Nigeria is not meant to be together, because Nigeria is not meant to be one, because the temperaments of the people from these parts of the country, these different parts, is not one. P2B have virtually become a Muslim today because he wants to be president. He has made straight away comments. I don't know how many of you that want to dispute it. Please check it up. Where he said, invariably or indirectly, he will abolish or fight against churches, because churches and what is the other thing he said, have been given much attention. Yes, and what was the second thing? Have been given much attention. Okay, is it politics or what? Why we are speaking? They tricked him again to speak against, and he still referred them to go and verify as a governor how he dealt with the freedom fighters, people seeking for self-determination. P2B. Why I want to, some people think that we are biased, that we are tribalistic muggles. We are tribalists. That's why we quickly talk about other people from other tribes who are leaders of Nigerian states. But that's not true. I would dwell on P2B to tell you more. Because P2B is one and the same people, not the same people, Okochukwu. He mentioned how he will clamp down on both churches and if I remember the other thing, I will tell you. And he also mentioned how he will clamp down on secessionists, on people seeking for self-determination. Because P2B has invested in Nigerian politics, he can't afford to allow division of Nigeria. Otherwise, tell me, what is any rational reason behind his being hell-bent on going against the reason for the creation of United Nations, which is the right to self-determination, right to protect for every group's right to opt out anytime their interest is no more protected and the other parties are not ready to yield to accommodate them. P2B said if he negotiates with them, then the one that didn't agree, he will use clamp down on them like he did as a governor. So for you foolish morons who were calling for P2B, you are hearing him. I can't be playing everything now. Go and check so that you verify to know if I am making anything up. That's P2B, recent interview. Nigeria was created by Britain. India was created by Britain. Can you remember any election where the Indian people, India just concluded the election a couple of months ago, like 3-4 months ago. Did you see anybody appear in Chatham House? What would they be doing in Chatham House? Do the people that live within Chatham House come to India to do campaign? So why would India go to do campaign or present manifesto to Chatham House? Because you are conquered people. Because you are a business enterprise to them. That is it. £600-something thousand. You were bought. So can we continue and stop where it's not ending? India has made their ground that they are going to supply Nigeria food. Dash. What is the problem? Nigeria cannot grow food crop. Nigeria cannot produce when they have almost the most fertile land in the northern Nigeria. The most fertile land. But Nigeria cannot produce, let alone exporting food products. And a country in war is dashing out food. When will Nigeria people will ever get, when would they ever get ashamed? Is there anything like shame in their dictionary? Is there any courage, any self-respect at all? The country in war is supplying food and you gladly accepted and still look for more. India has offered to give more. With the highest population in the surface of the earth, they have offered to give more. Why won't you produce food? Because there is a very big ambition to conquer everybody, coerce everybody into a fate that does not make or go well with the people. Why force it? Today, a security analyst from the north is analyzing what is happening. What is it that is analyzing? The insecurity in the north. That as they are crying about the insecurity, multifaceted terrorist groups and bandits, that a new one just emerged. A new terrorist group just emerged. And that the very, very difficult part of this new one is that unlike the other ones who were mostly rooted on the Igbo Sinala agenda, that this one is, this new one is that they come with a concocted Muslim religion. That this one don't even know anything about Islam. They don't know how they cook up this kind of Islamic practice. And before you know it, that many communities are already bowing to this and accepting this concocted Islamic practice, which is not the rightful Islamic practice, which of course none of the Islamic practices in Nigeria is a good one, because that's not the same thing obtainable in the developed Islamic countries that are balanced minded, like the same countries I have always mentioned. Saudi Arabia is a very progressive country. United Arab Emirates are very progressive. They are all Islamic, but they are very progressive, wonderful people. Wonderful people. Oman people, they're okay. Why is the kind of Islam you are practicing different from what is practiced in UAE? Why is it not the same in Saudi Arabia? New terrorists have come with a different Islamic ideology, not the one you used to know. And they are forcing people, already collecting taxes. But nobody is crying. We are not seeing people who come to Dr. Damage's program or the Yoruba hypocrites. We are not seeing them coming to analyze. So, you can see where we are going. Where people in government are so shameless, and the people supporting them are terribly shameless. That man is analyzing the development. Yes.
In as a radical, they came in as a radical and violent group with quote and unquote their own Islamic teachings and also their own Islamic ideology. And the unfortunate thing is that they don't have a very good understanding of the religion, neither do they have an understanding of what exactly they want to do. And the fact of the matter is, the locals will tell you, they preach religion, they preach their own ideology and their own teachings, but they seem not to even understand what they are actually into. And what do we see? We see people from different nationalities. They are not, mostly not Nigerians. They are from Niger, from Burkina Faso, from Benin, from Mali, and other parts of the Sahel. But the most interesting thing about it is that, again, they don't even understand the language of each other. That is very clear. And in some part of Sokoto, where they operates in these local government areas that I'm going to mention, around Ilela, around Tangaza, Godu, Bale, Benji, Silami, down to some part of KD, particularly in Kangiwa, in Augi, and as we speak today, they are in some part of Argungu local government area. I think this is a threat, and a very fundamental threat, not only to Nigerian security, but to international security, and also it is an international threat.
Okay, there is something he said here, that all this terrorism, all these terror groups in the north, they don't just pose security threats to Nigerian government. They pose international threats. But I will use that in the next program I will do today. You compare it to the statement of the Alexander Stubb, the president of Finland. You will hear when the man is making statements about his resolve to support Biafran cause. You will hear it.
In my own opinion, the fight against these people requires a robust and elaborate operation. We don't actually need to engage in customized security operation in these places, because they have entrenched the communities, they have gotten the acceptance on the part of the communities. And what do we see? Traditional authorities, even yesterday I was relating with some of them, they said they have no option. You've seen people with military grade weapons. You wake up in the morning, you see them at night, you have no option other than to follow them. And that is what is actually going on in these rural areas. If you take, for instance, our local government, you find quite a number of the district. Koido taken over by these people, Shafazane taken over. Most of these areas are actually under the control of this terrorist group. And they are, just like I said earlier, non-Nigerians. But the possibility of our local people supporting and joining them and accepting their ideology is actually on the increase, because they collect taxes. Not only collect these taxes, when they impose the taxes, they collect these taxes in cash, and they will also direct you. We are in so location at so point. We want so amount to be submitted or to be given to us, and at the end of the day, you will be the one to keep the money. To the extent that in Arugungu, in Augi, in some part of Kangiwa, and even part of Sokoto states, around Tangaza, around Gudu and Silami. They have established a network in which this network serve as their agents. They impose levies on you. 10 heads of your cattle, they will say you pay 200 or 300,000. If you want to pay, we are in Jima Jimi, we are in Giragiri, we are in Raka, they will mention locations. And you see people submitting, collecting this money, paying to them directly. They even know where to see them. They have their agents, the motorcyclists, that actually take individuals to some of these places. So in my own opinion, it is a very serious threat beyond our imagination, and we really need a robust international collaboration. It's not just about the issue of Nigeria anymore, rather it is the issue of getting the support of international communities to deal with this particular threat. It is imminent, it is increasing, it is expanding, and rural communities are crying day in, day out about the activities of this group.
All right, you know why I brought in this? Like I said, I'm going to bring something from it to the program I'm going to share with different countries that are supporting Biafran cause today, and why. Yes, so you do good to join that program, but for now, let us dwell on this topic. Nigeria is busy running for help, for food. Nigerian government begging for food from all over the world. To the extent that Nigeria had to accept food from a country that is in war. Do you imagine that Nigeria is not in war? Nigeria have a very fertile land, have a real land, yet the people cannot produce food because there is an agenda to Islamize Nigeria. Nobody can go to his or her farmland anymore. To an extent, a cajole was made of Yoruba people late last year or early this year, where they had to sign something. They signed a pact with Mieti Allah that they will no longer resist Mieti Allah from bringing their cattle and doing whatever. And that way, the Mieti Allah keep on penetrating their rural areas, into their villages, and occupying their forests, their bushes. Now, as they signed that, now Mieti Allah said they will not disturb them again. So if they don't sign that, it would have been their death contract or sentence. So as they sign it, they will not disturb them again. Now the Mieti Allah made the official statement that the Yoruba people can now go to their farmland. Since they have signed it, they can freely go to. So if they don't sign this thing, they cannot go to their farmland. How many of you? It's in the national news dailies, it's in newspapers, in televisions. They signed the pact. So after that, the Mieti Allah said they can now go to their. That means they are accepting boldly that the only condition that any community can go to their farmland is signing a pact with them. People are busy saying, oh, Boko Haram, ISWAP, all these ones. Mieti Allah. And the government of Nigeria made it officially known to the world that this Mieti Allah is a principal, very important stakeholders in the Nigerian state and government. The terrorist group is a principal. So why is it when somebody say, oh, why is Simon Ekpa always calling them a terrorist state and call it? What is it? Are you hearing it from Simon Ekpa first? Where a sitting president said that this is what the country is. It's a terrorist state. You want to hear and indict Simon Ekpa because anything that comes from a Biafran person is that one that is important. The president, a sitting president said that this is a terrorist state. That this is a terrorist country. Where Mieti Allah, a terrorist organization that have taken thousands of lives, that do take thousands of lives only within 1 year interval, and they own it up. Since the Israeli-Hamas war, since the Ukraine-Russian war, how many souls have gone down? How many souls? Then, since there is no war in Nigeria, Since the emergence of Mieti Allah, in a year, how many souls have gone? You find out that combination of Ukraine and the Russian war has not made up to half of the number of persons that have died in the hands of the terrorist organization in Nigeria. In 1 year. In 1 year. In 1 year. Because there is an uppermost agenda that is more important than delivering governance to the people. And one is saying, oh, why are you people going out now? Can't you resolve it? Is there any, there is no part of the world where there is no difference, where there is no misunderstanding? You know, it will take time, just a matter of time, you will settle it. You will resolve what? What do you want to resolve? What exactly do you want to settle? The unity that has kept decimating the innocent people. Unity that has done no good other than taking lives of innocent. That is the unity you want to continue to patch and pamper. Because you have a stupid brother who calls himself one stupid name, I don't know whether a bigot you call him. Because you have a buffoon that call himself a Tifnubu or whatever you call them. Why? The people that are dying doesn't concern you. Go to the northeast, to the northwest, to the north central. Go to the southeast, southwest. There is no part of the country that is not bleeding. But because, oh, your brother is a senator, your brother is House of Rep member, oh, he's the governor now. But because of that, because you have a contract, your business is flowing, you have politicians that you work with, they patronize your business, then millions of Nigerians should keep on dying. You think it will never reach you? You think it will never get to you? Those innocent military officers that are dying, no be mama born them. All those army, police, where they die because of this unity, no be mama born them. Do you think they are happy doing the work? Because that man that enrolled in the army, in the police, there is no other job he can do. Check how much they are paid. 47,000 naira to somebody that carry gun and risk his life. The high ranking, none of them is collecting 500,000. What is the 500,000 equivalent to dollar? That is why people risk their lives. Because of course this is military. It is command. They are asked to go, and they keep pushing these young people of great destiny, family heads, breadwinners. They keep pushing them to untimely death, to early grave. You think anybody is happy about that? What about the innocent people that these people keep buying? They keep on enrolling terrorists into the army and police, and they call them repentant. Somebody that have been soaked with ideology of carnage, of making sure there is carnage. You say the person is repentant. You give him gun, give him uniform to officially exhibit his terror in the human society. It's not a problem to you because you are not affected. The thunder will go fire you. It's still they do press up. You never come up. They never burn the thunder. Where you go fire your mouth and your nyash. It's not a problem to you. Oh, this, you know why you can, they will settle with, because your brother is in one useless position that he is still a stooge to the caliphate. That's why everything is okay. Don't worry, it will be settled. It will settle. It will settle. It will be settled. We are not here to patronize anybody. We speak the truth. The unity is not helping anybody. Nigerian army officers, they die on daily basis. The innocent citizens that are defending their land too are victims. Helpless citizens, that one is on the regular. Because these people are under command to enforce what should not exist in the first place on the people. To enforce what should not exist. Because they are under command to do so. But to you, it's not a problem. Because it's not affecting you. The unity, let us keep patching it. It will be better. It go better. It go better because your pocket is better. How many people's pockets are better like yours? What was the interest, the problem that erupted between those countries that called for their secession, and it is granted? Within 1990s, what are those countries that say no, we don't want to belong together again, and today they are separate? There are values that doesn't match. They are not as intense as it is in our situation. Now there is hunger everywhere. There is hunger everywhere. Ordinary food. A country that is blessed on all corners of the country. God blessed. But because they are not meant to be together, those who force them together, who see them as a business enterprise, are utilizing the opportunity of the unending rift, disagreement between these people that doesn't match, doesn't fit to be together. And they help you generate different useless names. South. When you ask them, when you're housing South here, can't we have North? They say no need. There is need. They keep giving you divide and rule orientation, and you allow it to sink. Ask that person now that is telling you no need dividing this country, we need to maintain it. Ask them, what is your reason? What is your reason to continue disgracing yourself all over the world, begging for food? A country that have the finest of oil minerals and one of the largest producers of these oil minerals, but doesn't have one refinery till today. After how many years of independence? And you are proud to say, I'm from here. Greedy people. Very selfish people. In any case, I have delivered the message. Modi said, count me out in anything apart from supporting you with food stuff. I'm not there with you to support or to fight against Biafra, but food stuff, I am supporting you. That's what Modi said. So you can see that. Thank you, lovers of freedom. This is as brief as it is. The program is not meant to last too long. If this is your first time of meeting us, please, this is Biafra Radical Freedom TV, BRF TV. I am Akman Sokwo. Do us good to share this to all the one Nigerian people. Share across all Biafran platforms too. But sharing is not just enough. Click on the like button, like this program. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, this is your first time, please, or you have been following us but have not subscribed, please do good to click on the subscription provision. That place, see, subscribe. Click on it. Thank you. And your comments will be interesting if you do them respectfully. So we need your comment as well. That will make the program very, very engaging, and YouTube, because of that, will help us to share to many thousands of users of the space. Remain blessed. as we join another session in no distant time. Salute.
Germany, who will say that something happens without the Lord having one of it? First, remember that it